I heard through the grapevine that there's an island country in Africa where, due to religious beliefs, most people don't eat seafood with shells. Because of that, the sea is full of lobsters. Even if you're in the capital and go to the most popular areas by the sea, you can still catch loads of lobsters. But while I was diving, I suddenly heard some kind of scream from the sea, which freaked me out. I thought, is this the legendary sea monster? Anyway, this African island I'm exploring is actually one of the poorest countries in the world. It's mostly covered in mangroves, and when the tide rises, the area floods. It's not a deserted island, but it's so remote that it feels like one. I was running a bit late today, and by the time I realized it was almost 3 o'clock, so I decided to find a place to pitch my tent first. After looking around, I picked a spot, but there were so many pebbles that I had to clear them all away. Once the tent was set up, I went for a walk through the mangroves. I checked the map, and the area wasn't that big. I didn't see any little crabs, though. I did see lots of shells, but they seemed to be buried deep in the sand. Anyway, there wasn't much else to see in the mangroves, so I decided to go fishing. As soon as I grabbed my fishing rod, you know it, fishing time. I didn't feel like going out to sea during the day, so I thought I'd try my luck first. The fishing spot was about 500 meters from my tent, which was a bit of a walk, but I felt confident that I'd catch something. I spent an hour fishing, using all sorts of poles and bait, but not even a nibble. By the end, my basket was completely empty. As it started getting dark, I decided it was finally time to head out to sea. I hadn't caught any crabs or fish during the day, so the pressure was on for tonight. The area I chose to dive in wasn't great, and it was exhausting because I had to swim over 500 meters from my tent. But halfway there, I spotted a loquat shrimp. My first catch of the night. Feeling encouraged, I kept going. Entering search mode once I reached the deeper water. The first thing I found wasn't a lobster, but a stunning Paul shell. It was so beautiful that I had to take it with me. Not far from the Paul shell, I saw a hayman, which looked to be about 10 kilograms. But catching something that big at night was just too difficult, so I had to leave it. I also saw a lot of goatfish, including one huge one right in front of me. It looked delicious and weighed about a gin, 500 grams, so I was excited to catch it. While I was busy with the goatfish, I suddenly heard a weird noise. I was a bit distracted, but luckily I was quick enough to catch a little eggmaster, a type of small fish that had slipped away. So I figured it was time to head back. All right, friends, come take a look at what I managed to catch tonight. Although it's not a lot, there's still some variety. This is an aconite fish, glowing with a beautiful fluorescence. And here's the best loquat shrimp of the night. It's a big one. Does anyone know about this Paul shell species? If you do, help me out with some info. This is the first time I've come across one. As for the fish, I won't go into details, but I caught 3, including a grouper. They're all delicious varieties. Tonight's haul is pretty standard. Definitely could have been more. But after hearing that weird sound, I just wanted to get back. Time for some sleep. Good night, friends.